Hello my fashion friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So for today's video I wanted to talk about some fashion rules that you are allowed to break. And I know people always say you can't ever do this and you can't ever do this when it comes to fashion, and even me, I've said it myself before too, but there are some rules that I think are okay to break, and you heard it from me. I'm giving you permission to break these rules, so let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so the first rule that you are allowed to break is the rule where you're not allowed to wear white after Labor Day. Now this first started in the 1900s where the women were trying to determine who was new money and old money, so they came up with this rule. But obviously in today's times we don't talk about new money and old money. Also it had to do with the change in the seasons as well. A lot of people wore lighter clothes in the summertime, and then when fall started they would start wearing the deeper colors, you know, the more neutrals, browns and maroons and things like that. But for people who live in Texas and hotter states, you guys know that it doesn't get cold until like November. So wear white if you want to, whenever you want to. It's okay with me, so go ahead. Okay, so the next one is going to be that plus size women are not allowed to wear horizontal stripes. Now this one is definitely a rule that you can break. Feel free to wear any kind of stripes that you want. I think what they mean by that is the size of the stripe. I think on plus size women a more flattering horizontal stripe would be one that has more thicker stripes. The thin stripes may not look as good because once the clothing stretches it may appear to be a little bit wider, but when the stripes are more on the wide side, like thicker stripes, then I think that's flattering for anyone. But stripes in general, who cares if you're plus size or not? Stripes, horizontal stripes, looks great on everyone. The next one is if you're a tall woman, you're not allowed to wear heels. Who in the world came up with that? I say if you're tall, embrace your height. Feel free to wear however high shoes you'd like. I think they're saying this because maybe men might feel a little bit insecure with a taller woman. But if you're a tall woman and a man feels insecure about your height, then that's not the man that you want to be with anyway. I think tall women are beautiful. I mean, a lot of models are very tall, so saying that tall women are not allowed to wear heels is ludicrous to me. Wear those heels, girl. I don't care how tall you are. I just think it's just so beautiful to just see this really nice, tall, statuesque woman. It's a beautiful thing to me, so by all means, wear your heels, girls. Okay, the next one is that sparkles are only for nighttime. And I think what they mean by this is like maybe all over sparkles. Like you have bling everywhere. You got bling on your shoes, you got bling on your dress, on your pants, on your shirt, in your makeup, in your accessories. I think that's what they mean by you can't wear sparkle in the daytime. But I'm here to tell you that you can, just in proportions. For example, if you have like a sequin top, then I will wear the sequin top but keep everything else pretty neutral and light colored, because daytime you have more of those fresh lighter colors, and so the sequins has a lot going on with it, or even glitter or sparkles or rhinestones or whatever it is that's sparkly. Then try to keep everything else very minimal. So if you want to wear some kind of sparkle, maybe it's a headband, maybe it's your accessories, your jewelry, your earrings or something, then let that just be the one piece that has the bling, and then everything else keep it more on the lighter colors so that it is a little bit more appropriate for daytime. But yes, you are allowed to wear sparkles in the daytime. Okay, so the next one is that you have to spend a lot of money to get great quality. Now, a lot of times that is true. The more money you spend, the better quality that the piece is. But that's not always the case. I mean, you can get really great well-made pieces from like Ross and Zara, even Forever 21. If you look hard enough, you can actually find some great quality pieces that are not as expensive as you think they should be. You just have to try to make sure to look at the stitching, make sure that everything is intact. You don't have to spend a lot to get great quality. Just make sure that whatever you are about to buy, that you just really make sure that you're looking at the fine details, the stitching, the cut of it, the hemline, just to make sure that everything looks really good and flows well together. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to get great quality. Okay, so next one is you're not allowed to wear black and brown together or navy and brown together. So a lot of times people would say that mixing those two neutral colors just are not very flattering. They don't go very well together. But I think what they were meaning by that is back in the day, you would wear those two colors in the same proportion. So like 50% of the outfit would be black, 50% of the outfit would be brown, or 50% black, 50% navy. I think that's where the issue is that it was half and half. But now to kind of update it and to make it a little bit more modern, to be able to pull off black and brown or navy and brown, it's all about proportions and percentages. So for example, let's say that I have a black midi skirt on or something, you know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily pair it with a navy blouse. I would probably pair it with maybe a blush blouse and add maybe some navy earrings, or some navy accessories in my jewelry. So the navy is still there, but it's not in the same concentration as the black is. Same thing with brown. Let's say you have some nice denim jeans on, and let's say you have just a really nice deep chocolate brown blouse or shirt, and then pair them with some black shoes. That goes very well together. Or maybe even with like a black belt, that goes very well together. So the colors are in different percentages and proportions. It's not 50-50, you know what I mean? So as long as you can kind of break the percentages up, maybe you have 75% of your outfit is brown and 25% of the outfit is navy, or 85% of the outfit is black and 15% of the outfit is brown. You know, it just depends on the percentages. Back in the day when it was like 50-50, it didn't look right, but when you kind of unbalance them, that's when it pairs really nicely together. Okay, the next one is you can't mix prints. That's a lie. You can definitely mix prints. Now this one is more of the more difficult ways to style. Mixing prints can be very challenging, and a lot of times it wasn't done right back in the day, which is why they say that. But there are really nice creative ways in which you can mix prints to give it a more updated feel. So for example, the floral and stripes, that's a classic way to mix prints. You can have a floral skirt on with a striped shirt. That's mixing prints very beautifully. It's just the way that you do it. Also, you can have the same print but in different percentages, like I was saying. So perhaps your skirt is has a floral design on it, but the florals are very big and exaggerated, and then you pair it with a top where the floral print is a little bit small and tightly packed. That's still mixing prints, the same print, but in different ways. So it just depends on how you do it. To modernize it and update it is how it's okay to do. It's just very difficult to pull off seamlessly, which is why I think they added it to this list. But I think you can do it in a way that is flattering, and that's going to look good. So you are allowed to mix prints. Okay, so the next one is that your shoes and belt should always match. Now this one I absolutely do not like. Yes, break this rule, girls. You are allowed to. Belt and shoes matching, that was way old school. Now I think that they can still match, but maybe different tones in the same family. So for example, let's say you have a brown belt. Let's just take the classic brown belt. You can have a brown belt and then maybe put on some tan shoes, or maybe put on some nude shoes or some brown shoes. They can be in the same family, but they don't have to match exactly the same tone, the same texture, everything. So you can even have, you know, like a matte belt with some patent shoes or something, you know what I mean? Or you could have like a cloth belt, or you could have a fabric belt with some leather shoes. So it doesn't always have to match like that. And so matter of fact, I would prefer my shoes and my belt to not match. Okay, the next one is only one bold color at a time. Now, you guys know me, how much I love color, so I definitely disagree. You can mix and match many different bold colors together. You just have to make sure to do it in the best way that's more appropriate for you. Now, a lot of people are afraid of color, and so they'd like to stick with one bold piece at a time, which is absolutely fine. But for the more daring ones, I think it's beautiful to mix a neon orange with a neon pink, or to mix like a really bright like cobalt blue with a nice bright fuchsia color. I think mixing those bold colors is beautiful. It's a great way to stand out. It's a great way to show off your personality without even having to speak a single word. So it's just a matter of proportions as well. So for example, you could have maybe like a nice cobalt blue dress with some bright neon yellow shoes. So as you can see, the cobalt dress is about 95% of the outfit, and then the shoes add that last 5%. So it really is the percentages in which you wear those bold colors. Or you could have a full-on yellow outfit, a yellow suit from top to bottom, but then you could have a nice tangerine bracelet on. So once again, 95% of the outfit is that bold yellow, but then you have your 5% that's the tangerine. So it really just depends on the percentages in which you pair these bold colors together for it to look flawless. Okay, the next one is that menswear is only for women. You lie. Menswear can definitely be worn on women, sometimes even more nice than it looks on men. I think for me, you guys know I love blazers. I have about 2 or 3 tuxedo style blazers that look very well, very crisp, very clean. So I think menswear can definitely be worn on women as well. A nice vest also looks very good. Also some nice slacks, some tuxedo pants with your blazer could look very beautiful as well. Yes, back in the day, pants were strictly only for men, but as you can see, for workwear and business fashion and things, professional fashion, women definitely wear slacks. We definitely wear pants. I think a nice crisp tuxedo on a woman is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I don't know if you guys watch Vanderpump Rules, but last season Katie and Tom were getting married, and Ariana was one of the groomsmen. A woman was a groomsman, and she wore a tuxedo, and that girl looked bomb in that tuxedo. She looked better than a lot of the guys who were wearing tuxedos themselves. So I think that women in menswear, definitely a go. Definitely, I give you permission as long as it's done appropriately. Okay, and then the final one is that clear shoes are only for strippers. Now everyone knows the stripper heel with, you know, the big ass heels and everything where they can shove their money in there, or you see a fish swimming in there or something like that. I mean, yes, that's the classic. Everyone knows that strippers and their clear heels and all that, of course. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the clear block heel is very much on trend right now. The clear straps are very much on trend now as well with your single sole shoes, and so that's one way of taking that clear heel and making it more modern, updated, and trendy, as well as modest, and in a way that is appropriate for every day. Of course, you're not going to see me wearing some stripper heels to work, but I'm saying the new way that they have turned out this fashion is beautiful. I think it's definitely a go. Definitely, I would definitely say it's allowed, and it's a great way because clear shoes go with anything. No matter what the outfit is, they're clear, so they're going to go with absolutely everything. So they're a great piece to have in your wardrobe to match up with pretty much anything. So yeah, those are just some of the rules that I'm giving you permission to break. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Do your thing. Plus, fashion should be fun. It should be just effortless and not be taken too seriously, you know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload brand new content. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, please come back in a timely fashion.